Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Storytime. I'm so glad that you were able to join me today. My name is Toby, and without further ado, we'll get started by saying hello, and we'll do bread and butter. Is everybody ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as fast as we can. That one was so fast I didn't even see it. Wow. All right. You ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as slow as we can. Hello. Good job, everybody. All right. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as high as we can. Hello! Good job. All right. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as low as we can. Hello. Good job. All right, you ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as loud as we can. Hello! Good job. All right. We will do the last one softly, but we'll do the whole thing softly. Ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as soft as we can. Hello. Good job. All right. Can I see your hands? Beep, 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 beep. Open them, shut them, open them, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open them, shut them, open them, shut them. Lay them on your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, creepy, creepy, creep them. Right up to your chin, chin, chin. Open wide your little mouth, but do not let them in. Shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them, just like this. Roll them, roll them, roll them, roll them. Blow a little kiss. Mwah! Very good, everybody. All right, I have our alphabet up here, as per usual, and I have someone here to help us find out what the missing letter is. Hi, Roy. Hi, everybody. This is my friend Roy. He is a colorful guy. He really likes colors. And Roy, do you see a letter that's missing up there? Yeah, I think I do. It comes after B. Well, what one comes after B? That would be the letter C. Yeah, I think so. That's right, Roy. Do you know what kind of stories we have today? Well, if I'm here and the letter is C, I think we should do stories that are colorful. I think so too, Roy. Are you ready? Yep, I'm just gonna sit here and watch. Good luck, Toby. Thanks, Roy. And that's right. Roy identified the letter correctly. It is the letter C. And it's right here. And he suggested we do stories about color. And I think that's a great way to do our story time today. All right. Now that all our letters are back up, we can sing the alphabet song together. Are you guys ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time won't before we jump into our stories, why don't we do our stretch? Are you ready? We're going to do a big stretch out wide. A big stretch up tall. Give yourself a hug. You deserve it. Why don't you tap your knee? There's my knee. Tap your nose. Can you point to your elbow? Can you pull on your ears? We'll do one more big stretch out wide. A big stretch up tall. And a deep breath. Ready? All right, we'll move these alphabet letters real quick and then we will start telling our stories. The first one is one that I've seen a lot of people tell, and everyone tells it different, but it's an awesome story, and you'll find out why in just a second. This one is called The Big Orange Splat. There, that's better. All right. Once upon a time, there was a man named Mr. Plumbean. Mr. Plumbean lived on a street where all of the houses were the same. See, they all look exactly the same. One, two, three, four. All right. One day, a seagull flew over Mr. Plumbean's house. He was carrying a can of bright orange paint. The seagull dropped that can right over Mr. Plumbean's house, and it made a giant, big orange splat right on his house. Too bad, everyone said. Mr. Plumbean will have to paint his house again. Well, I suppose I will, said Mr. Plumbean. But he did not paint his house right away. The neighbors sure got tired of looking at that orange splat on his roof. Oh, Mr. Plumbean, we sure do wish that you'd paint your house. Okay, Mr. Plumbean said. There we go. Okay, Mr. Plumbean said. So he got some blue paint and some white paint, and that night he got busy. When he was done, oh man, the roof was blue and the walls were white, but the big orange splat was still there. Then he got more paint. He got red and yellow and green and purple, and in the morning the neighbors came out of their houses, and their houses were all the same, but Mr. Plumbean's house was like a rainbow. It was like an explosion. There was the big orange splat, and then small orange splats, and pictures of elephants and lions and steam shovels. The people said, Mr. Plumbean's popped his cork, he flipped his wig, he's blown his stack, he's dropped his stopper. They went away muttering. That day, Mr. Plumbean bought carpenter's tools, and that night he built a clock tower on top of his roof. Oh, the next day, all the people on the street said, Plumbean has gushed his mush. He's lost his marbles. So, that night, Mr. Plumbean got a truck full of green things. He planted palm trees and thorn bushes and onions. Oh, that looks comfy. That night, in the morning, Mr. Plumbean bought himself a hammock. And he bought himself an alligator. When the neighbors came out of their houses, they saw an alligator in the grass, and Mr. Plumbean was drinking lemonade. "He's gone too far," they shouted. "This used to be a neat street. Plumbean, what have you done with your house?" Mr. Plumbean said, "My house is me, and I am it. My house is where I like to be, and it looks like all my dreams." The people went home. They decided that someone had to talk to Mr. Plumbean to tell him that they liked all the houses to look the same. They wanted him to change his house so that they could have a neat street again. So that night, a man went to see Mr. Plumbean. The two of them sat under the palm trees talking. The next morning, that man that visited Mr. Plumbean went to get lumber and nails and paint. And when the people came out of their houses, they saw a ship right next to Mr. Plumbean's house. "What have you done to your house?" they asked the man. And the man said, "My house is me, and I am it. My house is where I like to be, and it looks like all my dreams." "He's just like Plumbean," the neighbors shouted. "He's got bees in his bonnet, bats in his belfry, nuts in his noodle." Then one by one, they went to see Plumbean to demand he make his house look normal so that they could have a neat street. They would sit and talk and drink lemonade and talk about their dreams. And whenever anyone visited Mr. Plumbean's house, the very next day, that person would change their house to match their dreams. So, someone built their house to look like a big hot air balloon. And someone else built their house to look like an old Greek building. Whenever a stranger visited the street, they would say, "This is not a neat street." Then all the people, including Mr. Plumbean, would say, "Our street is us, and we are it. Our street is where we like to be, and it looks like all our dreams." The end. I love that story. Mr. Plumbean's house is awesome, and everyone got to make their house look like their dreams. It's so fantastic. All right, I think we can do a little movement. Are you guys ready? Last night and the night before, a lemon and a pickle came knocking at my door. I ran downstairs to let them in, and they threw me in the garbage bin. What? Last night and the night before, a chocolate chip came knocking at my door. I ran downstairs to let it in, and he threw me in the cookie tin. What? Last night and the night before, a big white seagull came knocking at my door. I didn't go down to let it in. I fell asleep with a great big grin. All right. Good listening, everybody. Can I see your fingers real quick? We've got another story coming up. I have 10 fingers. They all belong to me. I can make them do things. Do you want to see? I can make them jump high. I can make them jump low. I can fold them tight and hold them just so. I can squeeze them tight. I can open them wide. I can wave them all around. Whoop, 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 whoop. I can make them all hide. I can make them jump high. I can make them jump low. I can fold them tight and hold them just so. All right. This next one is a lot of fun too. And because it's spring, this is a very appropriate book. It is called Planting a Rainbow by Lois Ellert. Every year, Mom and I plant a rainbow. In the fall, we buy some bulbs and plant them in the ground. We order seeds from catalogs and wait all winter long. Phlox, morning glory, zinnia, aster, cornflower, marigold, and daisy. We wait for spring to warm the soil and sprout the bulbs. Then it's time to go to the garden center to select some seedlings. How colorful. We sow the seeds and set out the plants in soil. And we watch the rainbow grow. And grow. And grow. We have some red flowers and orange flowers and some yellow blooms. We grow something green and some blue flowers and some purple flowers too. All summer long we pick them and bring them home. What a beautiful bouquet. And when summer is over, we know we can grow our rainbow again next year. The end. How beautiful is that one? The flowers are so pretty. I'm sure you've seen some flowers out and about too. All right. Well, I think we can just jump right into our last story here. Why don't we do that? This one is, this one's about Hedgehog. Hedgehog, right here, had just finished building her winter nest under the old apple tree. Not too large and not too small, just right for a nice long winter sleep. Suddenly, a juicy red apple landed plunk on her back. Ouch, squeaked Hedgehog. She curled into a spiny ball hoping it would fall off, but when she uncurled, the juicy red apple was still there. Hedgehog tried to squeeze herself and the apple into the beautiful new nest, but with the apple on her back, she couldn't get in. Just then, Squirrel scurried past with an armful of brown nuts. Squirrel stopped to help. "Stand still, I'll push the apple off," said Squirrel. And so Squirrel pushed and he struggled, and he heaved, and he tugged, but the juicy red apple stayed where it was. Worse still, 3 of Squirrel's brown nuts got caught in Hedgehog's spines. So now Hedgehog had a juicy red apple and 3 brown nuts on her back. "Oh dear," said Hedgehog, "winter is coming and I can't get into my nest." There's the apple, and another nut there stuck in there. "What will I do?" said Hedgehog. Just then Pig came by and said, "Why don't you try rolling on your back? That'll get rid of it all." So Hedgehog threw herself on the ground. Her little legs paddled in the air as she twisted and wriggled and rolled. "Has it all gone?" she asked, scrabbling to her feet. Pig shook his head no. The juicy red apple and the 3 brown nuts were still there. Additionally, there was a small green pear and a crumpled brown leaf. "Oh no," sighed Hedgehog. But up in the sky, sailing towards Hedgehog, was a colorful bit of paper. "Bother," she cried. She ran this way and that way as fast as she could. This way and that way drifted the paper until it landed right on her back. "Oh no, it's not fair," said Hedgehog, who now had a juicy red apple, 3 brown nuts, a small green pear, a crumpled brown leaf, and a blue scrap of paper on her back. "I'll never get into my nest," she said. Hedgehog then walked over to the pond and gazed at her reflection in the water. "Hello, Hedgehog." "Ribbit, that's a lot of stuff on your back." "Ribbit," said Frog, "if you want to get it off, why don't you try diving into the water? That's sure to wash it off." Hedgehog, thinking that was a pretty good idea, dipped 1 toe into the water, and then she dove in. Hedgehog splashed about in the water, but nothing came off her back. And worse yet, a pink water lily was stuck to her spines. "Oh, bother," said Hedgehog. "I certainly won't fit into my nest with all of this on my back. What will I do?" Pig had one last idea. "Hedgehog, why don't you try squeezing through that hedge there? It's a tight fit, but it will brush off all of those bothersome things." Hedgehog could squeeze through the hedge and it would just brush everything off. So that's what she did. She went through the hedge, and when she came out on the other side, there were 4 ripe blackberries stuck to her as well. And now she had 1 juicy red apple and 3 brown nuts and a small green pear and a brown crumpled leaf and a blue piece of paper and a pink water lily, and now 4 purple blackberries all stuck to her. Hedgehog was starting to feel defeated when Goat popped out from behind the hedge and said, "Oh, how wonderful! You've brought lunch." So Hedgehog invited Goat to eat as much as he could, and he did just that. He ate the juicy red apple. He ate the 3 brown nuts. He ate the little green pear. He ate the brown crumply leaf. He ate the blue piece of paper. He ate the pink water lily and all 4 of the ripe blackberries. Ate them right off a hedgehog's back. When Goat was done, he thanked Hedgehog for the meal, and Hedgehog thanked Goat for the help. Then she scurried off to her nest and laid down for a much-needed rest. The end. Good listening, everybody. I really like that one. Hedgehog, I think, is so cute. All right, well, that's our story time for today. I think we'll end it by dancing it out. Is everybody ready? Dance any way you want to. Dance any way you please. Dance any way you want to. Stop when I say freeze. Can we wiggle like Hedgehog trying to get the apple off her back? Ready? Wiggle any way you want to. Wiggle any way you please. Wiggle any way you want to. Stop when I say freeze. Good job. Can we twist like this? Just twist any way you want to. Twist any way you please. Twist any way you want to. Stop when I say freeze. Good job. Can we march like this? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ready? March any way you want to. March any way you please. March any way you want to. Stop when I say freeze. Good job. Let's dance one more time. You guys ready? Dance any way you want to. Dance any way you please. Dance any way you want to. Stop when I say freeze. Good job, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Storytime today for our colorful stories. Roy, what did you think? Oh, I thought that was amazing. I hope everybody out there liked the stories as well. Thanks, Roy. And thank you guys. We'll see you next time.